For the last decade, artificial intelligence has been the Wild West. Move fast, break things, ask for forgiveness later. But in California, the very place where this technology was born, the government just decided that the era of permissionless innovation is over.
Yesterday, here in California, we just saw some new legislation. Governor Gavin Newsom signed one of the first bills to regulate AI companies in this state. It is called Transparency in Frontier Artificial Intelligence Act, or SB 53. It is the first to focus on the safety of these powerful AI models.
They've passed a new law. It's called SB 53. And it's not interested in your chat apps or your image generators. It's hunting for something much bigger. It targets frontier models, AI systems so powerful that we don't just worry about them making mistakes. We worry about them causing catastrophes. The state has drawn a line in the sand, and the biggest companies on Earth just stepped over it. To understand this law, you have to understand the scale. SB 53 isn't for startups, it's written for giants. It defines a frontier model as an AI trained with more than 10 to the 26th operations. An operation is one tiny calculation a computer does. So this rule is aimed at AIs trained with an insanely large amount of computing power. That is a massive amount of compute. It effectively ring-fences the most expensive, dangerous projects on the planet. And to be sure they're only targeting the heavyweights, the law adds a second filter. It applies to large frontier developers, companies making over $500 million a year. So if you're a garage inventor, you're safe. But if you're building a digital god, California is watching. Why does this law exist? The text uses a phrase, catastrophic risk. They aren't worried about bias or copyright. They are defining risk in body counts and billions. According to SB 53, a catastrophe is an incident that causes at least 50 deaths or over $1 billion in damage. Think cyber attacks on power grids, biological weapon designs, mass infrastructure failure. If you are one of the chosen few building these models, the state now demands 4 things from you. You must publish a safety rulebook, a public promise detailing exactly how you plan to keep your creation from going rogue. Before you release a new model, you owe the government a full report. What can it do? Who is it for? And crucially, how did it pass your safety tests? You must regularly send risk assessments to California's Office of Emergency Services. You are effectively reporting to the disaster police. If something goes wrong, if the model acts dangerously, you have to tell them. Usually, you have 15 days. But if it's an emergency, if people are at risk of dying, you have to confess within 24 hours. And what happens if you don't? This isn't a suggestion. It's a mandate enforced by the Attorney General, effective starting January 1st, 2026. The fine is up to $1 million per violation. For a $1 trillion company, that might sound like a parking ticket. But in the legal world, it's a signal. The government is no longer asking, they are telling. Naturally, this has started a war. One side argues this is basic sanity. We regulate cars, planes, and drugs. Why would we let machines that can outthink us run free? The other side calls it overreach. Why should one state, California, get to write the rules for the entire world? But there is a detail in the fine print that worries everyone. Those risk reports. The ones sent to the Office of Emergency Services. Many of them are not public record. The government gets to see the nightmares. You don't. It creates a system where we have to trust that the regulators and the companies have it under control, behind closed doors. SB 53 is more than a law. It is a signal. For decades, we treated AI like a toy, a fun app, a science experiment. But today, that era ended. The government is now treating AI like a weapon, and they just demanded the keys to the armory.